You know, one of those maritime cruise Tarrant?
Mm-hmm.
This is like that, but it's on space. It is a Galactic Cruise, and we'll be playing a few runs playthrough of it. So the game is designed by TK King, Dennis Northcott and Cotlin Thompson, and the artist, ta-da, Ian O'Toole.
Yes, very much in that Ian O'Toole style that we've all come to recognise. This game is published by Kinson Key Games, and it plays 1 to 4 players. It's a very much medium to high complexity Euro game.
It feels or has got the vibe of Lacerda, but it's probably not as complex as Lacerda. I mean, it looks like it, and then the box is big like that, and it is going to crowdfunding soon. And hello everyone, it's Stella and Tarrant from Meeple University. What we're going to do is we're going to do an overview of the game, and we're going to do a few rounds played through while highlighting what we're doing, explaining how it works.
Yes, this is part of our 1 round playthrough series, and we're going to play enough of the game that you can see pretty much everything that happens.
Yes.
So here we have all of what's available in Galactic Cruise, and you are business people running a cruise company. Thematically, this will feel very much like a maritime cruise, which you're familiar with. It's just set in space. But everything you know about cruise companies kind of applies here. You'll be trying to build up ships so they each have a cockpit, an engine, and then a bunch of these fun things to do on the ship. That's an important part of it. So you'll be building those up. You'll be advertising different cruise itineraries. You'll be bringing guests in. There are adventurous guests. There are guests who want to relax. And there are family guests. So you've got to cater to all of those appropriately. And then you go out on the cruises, and that's your major way of scoring points. So you get points for your cruises, you'll get points and upgrades for taking people to destinations on the cruises, and so on. There are some common objectives that we're chasing over down here, and then there's various upgrades, because this section in the middle here, this is a worker placement with bumping, and all of your actions take place here. On any given turn, this is your turn sequence, this full set down here on your player board, but at the start of the game, the only part which applies is step 2. And on most turns, you're going to be doing this. All our first turns will simply look like this. It involves taking 1 worker from your break room and moving it to a location, 1 of 6 locations where you do not have a worker, and then taking 2 actions there. So a lot involved in that. You can go to any space, you can bump other players' workers that are there. Helpful for them because they'll retrieve the worker, and they will also get a funding bonus. You'll see this icon here on each player's board, and it's available in various other places. It gives you a funding bonus which lets you take any one of these for little bonuses. These are all kind of the basic resources. You'll be getting little incomes from those. And these are upgradable. They can get more powerful as the game goes on, but early on they're just going to be these little bonuses. Then once you're in your location, you take 2 actions. They can be the same or different. They can be the actions in your location, or they can be the actions in an adjacent location, as long as there is at least 1 development connecting those locations. So that's these cogs. If they're your development, if your development is there, then it's free. If your development is not there, then you have to pay the owner of each present development, which could include the supply if there's a neutral one there. You have to pay them an amount of money based on how high your reputation is. So this is the reputation track here with this star. There's various impacts for this. We'll see them as we go through, but this is one of them.
As you said, the name is Repu-Track? No, just you made a name.
The last thing to explain before we get started is that we are playing in 2 players, and so there are some neutral workers in these spaces. There are 2 neutral workers out there. That adds a bit more of the bumping flavour that the game needs.
For 2 players. It definitely is a great thing to have in 2 players.
Yeah, so anything we do with these pink workers, you won't see that in a higher player count game. They're going to kind of move around as you bump them. Bumping them does nothing, but they can then cascade bump your opponents. So it just increases the amount of times that you bump your opponent. So with that, I'm going to take my first action. I'm going to go here. Sorry, my first turn. I'm going to go here, and now I'm going to take 2 actions, and they may be among these 4.
Or you can go here and pay me 2.
That's true, but I'm not going to do that.
Of course not.
So the first action I'm going to take, it's a very simple one down here. I need some resources. And so this is just a place I can purchase resources, which is this, and advertisements, which is this, from the supply. So it will cost me, I can do either of these. So I'm going to pay $2, 2 money. The first money gets me 2 resources. The resources are food, oxygen, and fuel. You need them all to launch cruises. So I'm going to take 1 food and 1 oxygen. And then the second half, I'm going to take 2 advertisements. So advertisements are what you need to really capitalize on the guests on your cruise. So that's my first action. The second action, I'm going to dip across the development, and I'm going to build another development. So I want to get my network of developments going very quickly. The cost to take a development is based on the column 5, 6, or 7 in a combination of money or resources from that row. So I'm going to do a combination because I want to hang on to some money here. I'm going to spend $4 and 1 of those food I just got to build my food row development. And I'm going to put it here. First person to put a development in any given row gains a reputation. So I move up 1 on the reputation track. And that's my turn.
Right, great first turn, Tarrant. I'm going to take 1 of my workers and I'm going to bump you. So we'll show how bumping works. So I'm going to put it here. So I'm going to bump Tarrant, not there, but back to you. And I'm going to put it there. And then let's resolve yours first.
Yep, so I get bumped back to home base. I cover a funding icon, so I get any one of these. And I feel like I'm going to need some money. So I'm just going to gain 1 money.
Looks like almost like a credit card of some sort, or just like that future payment currency thing.
I'm sure it's called credits.
Credits. Yes, it looks like a credit. All right, so now I do my action. I'm going to do first action. I'm going to activate this tile first, which I'm going to take something from here.
Yes, so this lets you gain blueprints. You can have, these are the
slots,
unbuilt versions of segments of your shuttle.
Yep.
And you can hold up to 5 of them, and you simply take them from the display for free.
Yep.
You are also allowed to spend reputation to refresh some of it before taking if you want.
All right, looking at what I have right now, I have the purple calming passenger and then the adventurous orange, which hopefully we'll show later. I'm going to take this one first, the distillery, for free.
You've got a wine tasting and a distillery. You've got a booze cruise going on here.
Like a booze cruise. And what more, I'm just doing thematically, but really because of its orange, what complement wine tasting and distillery is casino. Let them spend. Not that it actually does anything in the game, but it's just nice and thematic. And then
I have an opera theatre ready to go in mine. We have very different classes.
Yeah. So the difference is, I'm going to quickly show you here. So this is cheaper, but gives you less points. This is slightly higher and then gives you more points, and that's points. Okay,
so to finish the action, we slide these down and replenish from the top of the deck.
Ooh. Ooh, those are great. All right, now my second action, I want to try to build them straight away. Now,
so that is this action here.
That's correct. So I have my Cocoa development there. I want to get there. So I can build up to 2 of these blueprints into my rocket. Oops, I just knocked out my expert. So I'm going to just slide that over there. First one I'm going to build is this one. Now, what I'm going to do is playing this card, right?
Yes, so these are the agenda cards.
Agenda card, that's it.
We each begin with 1, and you can get more from this display over here. These
by going there.
Yes, these are, I would say, medium powerful cards in terms of making, you play it usually when you take an action, and it makes that action like significantly cheaper or more powerful as a once-off.
which what I'm going to show you. Ta! So this is financial loophole. Pay 2 credit fewer for each of these when I build it.
As part of this action.
Yep,
So
that's
there we
correct.
go.
So the options to play those cards are the action or the resource. You can discard the card for the resource showing on the bottom left.
Yes.
So I'm going to do this. So that is, I can do it multiple times as long as it's in their turn. So pay 2 less. So this will cost me 3.
Okay.
And then here I am building this. So I will be flipping this and you get the point at the end of the game. Now the second one, oh thank you Tarrant. The second one, I can do one of these, but I saw something that is probably better, which I'm gonna pick. So, looking at that. So these two just came out. Ideally, it's a cocktail corner. So building this from here will cost that plus that. Now, we'll see if I have enough. So I have a discount of 2, so this will cost 3, and this will cost 3 and 6, which I think I'm gonna go for it. Cocktail corner. You see the theme here? Just keeping the theme with, you know, wine, cocktail, and things.
Very much. There's no extra points for this.
No, there's not. It's like I'm just really liking the thematic side of this. All right. Okay. So that's 5 minus 2 is 3, and that cost me 3, so that's 6. Thank you. And I also lose a reputations, which is here.
Yes. So they're showing you can build from the display or from your collected blueprints. Saves you an action but costs you some extra money.
And I will flip that. And it's perfect because the type of passengers would probably better if it matches.
Yeah, you can make more hay out of having these activities matching on the ship. We'll see that when we start launching cruises.
Yes. So those are my 2 actions.
My next action, I'm going to place one of my workers here. Now, I'm going to very quickly go in and hire an expert. That's my first action. We have 2 expert workers on our boards, and they will begin the game quite expensive, but you make them cheaper. So this worker will cost me $2 for each of these cogs I have remaining in the top 2 rows. This worker will cost me $3 for each token I still have left among these 4. So right now this costs me 8. I only have 5, but I also have an agenda card.
Nice.
I can pay $4 fewer when hiring an expert. So you can see how powerful these agenda cards can be in really getting things happening more quickly. So I'll do that. Take the worker, place it in my break room, and as usual, I've covered a funding icon so I can take one of these funding bonuses. And I think I'm going to start getting some resources for when I go cruising. So I'm going to take an oxygen. Then for my second action, I'm also going to take blueprints. I'm going to take, this is probably my favorite tile in the game actually, the jet bumpers, because if you look at the picture, that looks like the least safe thing ever in the history of ever.
It's got bumpers though. Let's not forget bumpers.
So I'm going to take the jet bumpers, and then I'm going to take something cheap as well. I'm going to take a fun park. Give me some options to do things quickly or slowly. Now, one of the things as you refill, I'll just point out, these goals here, these are helpful ways of scoring points, and the earlier you achieve them, the more points you'll gain, and the harder it is for your opponents as well. So I'm looking at this one here. Once I've built 2 of each icon, these icons here, I will score that objective. It'll let me move one of my cubes up to here, which helps in the intermediate scoring, and it will move this up, making it harder for you to achieve it. So the objectives we've got in this particular game, it's having 6 cogs. So we've seen cogs. It's having built non-matching icons. And this one relates to doing upgrades when you bring passengers to planets, which we haven't seen yet. So that is what I'm trying to achieve here. So I'm pretty pleased with that turn. The expert worker, now that I've got one, It mostly behaves like a normal worker, but it has a little perk based on this tile here. And there's 6 different ones that come with the game, so you can have some variety. In this particular one, when you use an expert to bump a basic, the expert also gains a funding bonus.
Nice.
So double funding when that bump happens. So
Yes.
hopefully I can make some rewards out of that. All right.
Yes, my turn. I do like that there's bits and pieces, bonuses everywhere, but they're all cumulative and then they all can make or break the turn.
Indeed.
Yeah, all right, my turn. I'm going to take this regular worker and I'm going to go here.
Yes, so these are really the 2 major marketing actions.
Marketing,
They all
yep.
happen over here on the marketing board.
Yep, good thing is I can also get money. I'll show you how to get money.
Yes. So
Yep.
which action are you going to take first?
I'm going to do the first one first.
Okay, so this is the call center
Person.
employee who is going to schedule one of these cruises. So you take your matching meeple,
Put it there.
put it there next to one of the cruises. That is now the next cruise that you are going to launch. So there are 3 starter cruises there. You've gone for quite an advanced cruise. You need a lot of resources to fuel that.
I know.
Fuel that cruise.
I've got my weight. I think hopefully it'll work out. But it kind of like matches these 2, the purple and the orange would match this. So I'm hoping this will work out for me, hopefully.
Very heavily going in on that. So this is a 3-day cruise. You're going to a relaxing planet, then an adventure planet, and then a day in space. The day in space is where the guests will enjoy all of the
Amenities inside.
the booze on your
cruise. Booze cruise.
booze on your cruise.
I'm pretty sure that's Australian booze. Or maybe not.
I don't know.
Is booze Australian? Let us know. Let's get back to the game. Not daydreaming about booze. All right.
Right, so you've scheduled that cruise, and now you gain the
bonus.
perk you gain from scheduling the cruise is you get to flip a tile from your launch tower.
Which is this one of these 4.
One of these 8.
Sorry, one of these 8, but I'm going to choose this.
8.
I always like the instant gratification, which is these, and this is more engine building-y. So at the moment, I'm going to need this. So I'm going to flip this and getting 4 money. Please give me 4.
4
Thank you very
money.
much. So that is my first action, which is here. Sorry, not here.
Yep.
Here. Now my second action.
So just to point that out, all the bonuses down the bottom, these are 4 of something that you get right away. All these ones up the top start the process of revealing the more valuable funding bonus.
Yeah. So my second action, I will use this tile to gain customers.
Yes, you'll be pre-selling tickets to your cruise, to a cruise. It doesn't have to be your own.
Yep.
To 1 or 2 guests.
So I'm gonna go get these 2. So the cost would be 1 advertisement token each, which I have exactly 2.
Yep.
And I'll be bringing. Guess what? I'm gonna get this one and this one.
Very good. So pre-sales.
Yes.
So you get pre-sale bonuses. Each guest gives you $1, so not the days in space, but per destination. So each of those guests gives you $2 in pre-sales.
Thank you.
And each guest gives you a reputation if there is a matching destination to its colour on the cruise.
Which I have.
Yes.
2.
So you gain 2.
Back up again.
2 reputations. So there you go. You have gone from $1 to 9 in the space of a turn.
Not bad.
Not bad. That's good.
Well, I need the money. You'll see.
That's true. And that is one of the major ways of gaining money. So now I will aim to show you the other. All right, what I'll now do, I'm going to take my expert worker and I'm going to go down into this space here. So this is the first time we've bumped a neutral worker. This is a basic, which I've bumped with my expert, so I get a funding bonus, and I'm going to take an oxygen with that. But then there's nowhere back to the board to be bumped. This worker gets bumped 1 step clockwise and then bumps you back.
Woohoo!
So you can get a funding bonus.
I'll get a fuel.
Okay. Now I take 2 actions over here. This is the silo. These actions relate to the silo. And so I'm going to take the top silo action first. I'm going to gain 3 resources from the silo.
And this is different than that because that will cost you money, but it doesn't come from the silo. So even though there's no resource in silo, you can still perform it.
Yep. So seeing that you need fuel, I'm going to try to drain the silo of fuel.
Thanks, Tarrant.
And grab a food. This is a big shared incentive thing here.
Correct.
There's also an action here to refill the silo, but I need an agenda card in my hand to actually take it. So I can't afford that. And at the moment it would cost me $2 to bridge across someone else's development, so I can't actually take these actions here which relate to the agenda cards.
You have $1.
Yep, so my second action, I'm going to jump across here, and I'm going to do my own call center.
Yep, there are 3.
Yep, so I'm going to go on number 3. I've got a couple of green locations here, so I think that'll be good for me. I get to flip one of these over, and I want to do the engine building side. So
cool.
I'm going to flip over my resource funding, because I think having that engine to generate resources as I get bumped later on is going to help me out.
All right, now I'm going to go here to get more cards. So these symbols for the agenda cards, which I will take the top one, please pass it on to me.
Last minute purchase. Yep.
Yeah, this is going to be really good. And the last one, please, which is trade union.
Okay.
Thank you. Now that's on only 2. Second action is I'm going to refill. So how it works is that I get the things that's underneath the cards that's empty, which is 1 resource and then 1 reputation.
Yes.
So reputation first, and then I get 1 resource of my choice, which is the oxygen.
And then we discard these cards in the order of your choosing. You can choose which one's on top of the pile.
Yep, let's just do it this order.
Because the reason for that is the one that's on top of the pile is also available as a choice when you take them. It just costs you a reputation to do so.
So let's refill everything.
And then we refill from the deck.
And that's basically my 2 turns. Now I have 2 cards. Haha, you have 0.
My turn. I'm going to move in here. So I bump the pink worker, which bumps Stella's worker. So funding for you.
Thank you. I just get 1 of this food.
Now I'm going to take the top action, which is to gain another shuttle. So there's these 4 shuttles available. Each is an engine and a cockpit. And I'm going to take this one. Now, so one thing happens immediately here. I get the bonus that's shown on the bottom of this engine. So it's $2. And it's 1 funding bonus. Now, I don't have this funding bonus available anymore. I've flipped that over. Temporarily, that is unavailable. So instead, I'm going to work on building up my amount of advertising. And then I flip this over. Now, the top half of these cones shows an in-game scoring objective that you will resolve whenever you launch this ship. And they also all score at the end of the game.
Yep, should be actually on that side, not the other side. We flipped it.
So, for example, if I launched this cruise, I would get 1 point for every shuttle segment I've built. This one would give me 5 points for each expert that I have. And because I've already worked on experts, this is now a decent early game one for me. But if you never launch the shuttle, it's worth -5 points. So that stops you from just getting it for the objective. All right, then we refill the display. While you're doing that, my second action is going to be to build 2 shuttle segments. So I'm going to go cheap initially here. I'm going to build the fun park, which will cost me $1 to flip this. And I am going to flip it into my new shuttle. So I've got a fun park. And my second one, I'm going to use the opera theatre. It's going to cost me 3 money. I only have 2. But I can go to the reputation track. So if you've noticed, there's all these icons down the bottom of the reputation track. Once per turn, you can move down as many steps as you want, and then choose one of the reward types and take as many as you cross. So for this case, I just move one step down. That's going to give me 1 money, which I'll immediately spend on my opera theatre.
One step down is actually pretty good.
It's a good efficient one. Let's say if you right now you could choose to move on your turn, you could choose to move 1 space for an advertisement, or down to step 1 to get $1, or down to step 0 to get 2 resources. You choose one of the benefits and you take it. There we go, that's my turn.
With this worker, I'm going to bump you, Tarrant. Zoink.
Yep, so you can bump an expert, there's no reason a basic can't. I now get funding and I'm very short money, so I'd better go for that.
Yeah, so I'm going to get 3 resources, which is available here. There's only 3 resources available, exactly. So 1, 2, 3, which is 1, 2, 3.
Yep, the silo is empty.
Yep, now I'm going to use this one to refill that and then gain bonus. So what I'll do, I'll discard one of these cards, doesn't matter which one.
Yep.
And I'll choose this one for 2 reasons. Number 1, I need it. Number 2, Tarrant doesn't need it. And then by doing that, I gain the steps here in credit or money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just give me a 5, please. A 5er. And then I will get the reputation. Zoink.
You are well advanced. You're doing very well here. My turn. I'm going to go here.
Woohoo! Bumped.
So I bump you back for funding. I also get funding
Yes.
because that was my expert.
Excellent.
And I'm going to take $1 because I do desperately need $1 for this action.
Well, I need oxygen, so there you go. Perfect.
Okay. My first action, I'm going to take 2 cards from the agenda display. 1, 2. And my second action is going to be to refill the silo for some money.
Oh, that's great.
I have to come across the development, which means I have to pay these 2 resources.
Great investment, though.
And then I have to discard a card. And I'm going to choose food. I'm going to push food up. So I get $5 and a reputation.
With my worker, I'm going to go to this place. So I will bump you, Tarrant. What you going to get?
I'm going to take $1.
Right. So I'm going to use this one first to get a rocket. Now I'm going to get this rocket over here. The objective is not that great at the moment, but you know, I don't have to launch this one now. This is to do with these objectives, but this is what I need. So I'm gonna need advertisement, so I'm getting it from there. And I'm gonna need advertisement even in space after I attract these customers.
Yes.
Advertisement everywhere. Right, and then that's my first action to get that. My second action is to build. So I have these 2 that I'm going to build. I'm going to build one of these, which is, you know what, it doesn't really matter, but I think I'm going to get this one, casino, into here. So this is a 3 and a 3. Sorry, just cost 3.
Yep.
There you go. Flip it there, and you can have maximum of 3 rooms. I mean, you can have more with special cards, but this is the basic game. And then the second one, so I'm going to build this one for 1.
Yep.
And then I will put it here.
Disappointed that this hasn't just been the alcohol ship. We've got whiskey over here.
Well, I could move it just for fun, but no, it's all right. Okay. And replenishing these for a new rocket.
My turn, and I think it's time to launch. I think you may have a more attractive ship than mine, but I'm going to launch.
Well, I don't know about that. It's a booze cruise. Yours is a little bit more tastier. You've got a fun park and an opera theatre.
Yes. All right, so we're now finally doing the second part of this action here. This is the launch action. So it is my step 2 for the turn. I take my worker and I pop it down here. So I take the cruise itinerary which I have booked and I place it on the vessel that's going to be launched. My consultant goes back. Now I need to fill this up with passengers, and you can see that every pair of shuttle segments, excluding the top and bottom, gives you a spot for 1 passenger. Now I don't have any passengers in the queue for this cruise, but I can do last minute sales. So it would either cost me 1 for a purple or 2 for a green.
I think you want a green,
or 3
don't
for
you?
one of those, or 4 for the supply. Yeah, I'll take the green. I'll take the green.
The green, so 2.
So I'm going to spend 2 to get a green. Place in here. Now the benefit of doing this earlier is you get these bonuses. I don't get those bonuses. So that is countdown step number 5. Countdown step number 4, I put a cube up here. Very simple, this progresses the game along. Countdown step number 3, I have to pay the resources. So I need food equal to number of guests plus 1 for the pilot. This guy's going to be the pilot. So I need to pay 2 food. And how I'm going to do this is 1, 2. 2 food. Oxygen needs 1 per shuttle segment. So I need 2 oxygen. I can pay that conventionally. And fuel needs as much fuel as the length of the cruise. This is a 2-length cruise. I pay 2 fuel. Okay, resources paid. Now, points. These are the first points anyone has scored. I scored points equal to this objective, which is 5 per expert worker I've unlocked. So I get 5 points. And I can flip my nose cone over so I don't have a negative 5 points hanging over me. And the upgrade that I flipped, I now put that on the ship. As you'll see, this is going to drop it off in one of these. All right. Now the pilot jumps over to the cruise, and we replenish the deck. We also slide matching coloured guests down.
Matching colour to the one that you just revealed.
Yep. And I took 1 guest, so we add 1 guest, put a purple in the top slot. And there we go, that is my turn complete.
For me, I don't have any workers on my board, and now I need to retrieve. This is the first retrieval in the game.
Yes, this is the third option here. It's called calling a meeting. So you bring all of your workers who aren't pilots back.
And just these 2. So I'm going to put them, and then I'm gaining 2 bonuses, 1 and 2. I can't have more resources. I have quite a bit of money for now, so I'm probably going to get advertisement, which I'm going to use. So give me two of them, please. Thank you.
Yep. And now you get to take 1 action, which is adjacent to your cog. So you've got the choice among these 4 actions.
I'm just going to get more blueprints for the reasons that I just discussed before. I'm going to get this one. I need to get the blue one somehow. So I need the other one. And the other one, it doesn't matter. I think I'm just going to get a game show.
Okay.
Right.
It's your turn. All right, now that I have a cruise in the air, or the lack of air, I can, step 1 of my turn comes into play. All of my cruises advance 1 step. Now, I'm at a day in space. That means I sell the goodies on my ship to the customers I've got. Yeah. So I've got a family customer. They have no interest in the opera theatre, but I have 1 fun park which they're going to go to. We consult the marketing board for what green is worth. And green is worth an advertisement. So I've got 1 match, I get 1 advertisement. That's all that happens on my day in space. Now it is the second phase of my turn. I also have no workers because you didn't bump me, so I have to bring these back.
Hey, I didn't bump you because I didn't have workers.
I didn't say you were supposed to bump me, I just said you didn't. And so I bring them back, and now, ooh, look at this. I've cleared this off, so now I've got a more valuable funding space. So I can get 4 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I brought 2 workers back for 2 fundings.
You don't have to choose this. You can choose the other ones, but that seems like a really good one.
Yep. And now I get 1 action, and I'm adjacent here, so I can do the development action. And what I'm going to do is play the connections card here. So normally getting my next development would cost me 5, 6, or 7 of money or the resources in the row. With this, it's only going to cost 2. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to spend the 2 I get the maximum discount I can. I'm going to spend the 2 oxygen to build this, and I'm going to put it up at a technology. This is kind of the one thing we haven't yet shown. Technologies, there are 4 of them, and once you've unlocked it, it gives you some sort of ongoing power. So I'm going to take this one, which lets me pay 1 fewer food for all of my subsequent launches. Now you can also use that, but much like here, you're going to have to pay me to use it. I covered the reputation spots, so I get 1 reputation. You really have a much more reputable cruise line than I do at the moment.
Yeah, it's not that far.
And there we go. Your turn.
I'm gonna launch. Ta-da! So I'm gonna take this one as a pilot. Okay, countdown number 5 is to take the call center person back and the crystal. So I'm gonna put it there. Sweet. And
the guests.
the guest.
So you don't have to take the 2 guests that are there, but they
but
look
I
to be
want
a good
to.
combination.
Yeah.
You will lose
Perfect.
reputation if you pre-sale and then bump them.
It's like, hey, come to our cruise, and then, oh no, you actually can't. We're fully booked.
Yes. All right, now you put your cube onto the track.
Yep. I will gain nothing out of that. There you go. Zoink. And resources.
So this is a big cruise.
Yes, this is a big cruise. I need, okay, let's do it from the top. So food. Food, I need 1, 2, 3. So 3 food. I have 3.
Yep.
Oxygens. I need 1 per of these. That is not the rocket. So I need 3. Now, what happened here? I have 2. So I spent 2 here. Earlier, I have this guard. So it is last minute purchase when launching. You may spend 1 money instead of 1 resource, spending a maximum of 5. This is really good. This is how I can afford this cruise. So I am 1 oxygen down. So I'm gonna put 1 money for just the 1 oxygen that I'm missing.
Yep.
And then for the fuel, I need 4 fuel. I've got only 2 more. So that is $3. I mean, technically I can leave some behind for next time and then just spend money, but
You
no.
could, but you're pretty wealthy.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna just spend that.
Okay.
And that's my resources down. Next is to flip this.
So that is going to score you 1 point for each of your completed shuttle segments. You have a total of 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, including the rocket that you're not launching. And
Yep.
you see now it's all the lines connected. It's great.
Yep.
And then that one is to take this. So I only have 1, so I'm gonna put it here.
And you'll see nothing is revealed under that.
Correct.
So
Correct.
You
So
got your instant
which is
gratification.
instant, and then this is not just now sitting there. That's it. So this goes as a pilot.
Yep. And we once again refill the cruise market.
Thank
This
you very
time
much.
all of the guests are going to go
Ooh.
down 1 slot.
Yep.
Get them a little bit disheveled
Yeah.
there. And you brought 2 on, so we
Yes.
need an orange and a green.
Orange and green in here. And that's basically my action.
My turn. I go to step 1. Now I'm at a destination. I'm at a green destination. Couple of things will happen here. That's this step. The first one is I can drop off my upgrade in one of the 3 slots. So these do various things. I kind of like the look of this one. This is every time I move up on the reputation track, I get the bonus that I cross. So I feel that's a good early game one. I'm going to pop that there. Now, I need to send my guests on a day trip. So, you know, you go on a cruise, you get to a destination, there's a day trip, but you've still got to pay the cruise line, it's expensive. You've got to add, and the cruise line is always advertising that to you. So what happens here, any guest can go to any destination. It's going to cost you 1 ad to bring the preferred type, 2 ads to coax another type to come down. So I've got a family here. It's only going to cost me 1 ad. Family comes down onto the planet, has some fun, plays with these monsters, and I gain points equal to 3 plus the upgrades on that destination type. So 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes back on the cruise. And that is the end of my cruise phase. Okay, then for step 2 of my turn, I'm going to take my expert. I'm going to bump the neutral worker here, so I get a funding bonus. And so here I'll get 2 resources. Then my first action, I'm going to advertise to cruises that haven't been sold yet.
Which you can.
So I'll spend 2 ads to get them off the bottom of the queue. 1, 2. This is going to be a good influx of, just check what makes sense for me. This is going to be a good influx of money for me because I'm going to advertise them up here. Each of them is going to give me $3 because there's 3 destinations on this cruise. And they each match 1, so I'm going to get 2 reputation. 1, 2. And now that I have this upgrade, I get everything I cross. So I get $1 and awesome. I get another food. Do I have another food? I've already got a food discount, so I'm going to get oxygen.
Okay, great.
That was action number 1. Then action number 2, I'm going to sell a cruise, but not that one, because I think I want to get my upgrades out quickly. So I'm going to go this one instead. I still get to flip one of these, and I might flip the victory point one. I get that. So hopefully I can double this up. I do get that immediately. I think I forgot to, I may have forgotten earlier when I flipped this. I should have got a resource immediately as well. But yeah, it does lock that off for a little while. So my mistake on that.
My first one is the first step now. Now I have a first step, not the second step, is to go here. So first destination is the counter trades. So attracting this will cost me 1 advertisement. This will cost me 2. Have to, you know, advertise harder for
the adventurous fellow to go down.
Yeah, okay.
But before that, you do decide, are you going to upgrade? Because you've got 2 destinations here. You could upgrade purple or you could upgrade orange. It probably depends which one you think is a better upgrade.
I think I'm going to do this one now. So I'm going to upgrade here.
Okay.
So this means that every time I move on reputation track, I move 1 further.
Excellent. All right, so you've got 2 down on the surface, 4 points each. Gives you 8 points for this
leading stop. For now. Yes, and that's basically it, that part. And this comes back. Hello, that was a good day at the Adventure Island. I enjoy it. Bye. Relaxing island, sorry. And then onto my 2 steps, as usual, I will take this and go to the main board now. I'm going to go here. I'm going to upgrade. This is the first time I upgrade. And I will upgrade the fuel. I feel like I'm probably going to need fuel more for whatever reason. And that will cost me 5.
5?
Yep, thank you. And I'll put it here. So this will give me 1 reputation. But hang on, remember the upgrade I just got? So whenever I get, which is this one. And so I get 1 reputation, I get 1 extra. Now, it's gonna cost me 1 to use someone else's cog or someone else's technology upgrade.
Instead of 2, very good. And you've also hit endgame scoring trigger here as well, the higher up this track you are.
3, 8, 15. Speaking about endgame scoring, there's also here, if you unlock these cog, you get 5, and then 15 and 30. And for the second action, I'm gonna use this one. All right, so now that it's built, now I don't have to pay. So I'm gonna get 2. The first one is the top one, please.
Productive meeting.
Productive meeting indeed. Now I'm gonna get my last minute purchase again. That was really useful last time. So I'm gonna lose 1 reputation here, which is fine. I'll just gain it. Easy come, easy go. But that's a bonus one anyway. True. So, and that's it.
That was a pretty helpful one.
Oh, very. I didn't have the oxygen. Yeah. All
right. So we come to the first step of my turn. We are back at home. So the pilot comes to the break room and I get funding, as always the case. So I'm going to grab a couple of oxygen, and then this tile is discarded and the guest goes back to the supply. And then I would move on to step 2, but I think we've shown at that point pretty much everything that you can do in Galactic Cruise.
Yes.
One small exception. We haven't got to the point where anyone's got to intermediate scoring or completed any goals. So from all of what you're doing, you saw the main ways of scoring, which are making your objectives on your shuttles work, spending ads to bring all your guests onto these planets, building developments, end of game points and points here. The other points come from meeting these objectives. So again, for example, the first person to get 6 cogs out would put one of these cubes up here. That would trigger intermediate scoring once this was full. And scoring is based on how many of these wings you've revealed, multiplied by how many of these cubes you have, with a bonus for being on top of the reputation track as well.
Ahead.
Yes. So we would keep going until all these cubes were full. You do the intermediate scoring again. You score all of your shuttle segment bonuses at the end of the game as well as losing points if you never launched them. And yes, whoever has got the most points at the end of all of that wins.
Great.
I think you saw us gain a collective 10 points each, and the scores are going to be in the mid 100s once you get it done.
Hopefully you learned a little bit at least how this game plays, how everything interconnecting in the Galactic Cruise. So check out the game again on crowdfunding, on Kickstarter, and hopefully you have a wonderful day and see you next time. Bye! Welcome to Galactic Cruise, luxury space travel at competitive price. I'm Jahja Sutisna Kusuma. Name?
Wow, this is so exciting. I saw that advertisement for the space bike trip over on Planet Adventure.
Name?
Joe Smith.
Okay, Joe Smith, you are on the lower deck and no parties.
Okay.
Next.
Peace, man.
Welcome to Galactic Cruise, luxury space travel at competitive price. I'm Jahja Sutisna Kusuma. Name?
Bob.
Bob what?
No, just Bob.
Okay, Mr. Just Bob. No gum on this cruise.
But
You'll get fined for eating chewing gum. So pay up or lose it.
peace, man.
You're in the middle deck in between the board game convention and game showroom.
Cool.
Next. Welcome to Galactic Cruise, luxury space travel at competitive price. I'm Jahja Sutisna Kusuma. Name?
That's King, TK King.
Well, Mr. King, we have a maximum age for the child to come in for free. Since you haven't paid up, how old is it?
She is 3 months old.
After 2 months, you gotta pay.
What? But I thought it's...
Well, you thought wrong. Are you in or out?
Fine, in.
Oh, and you are bunking with Bob.
What? But I paid $5,000 for my room.
Well, yeah, that's the bunking fee. Wanna pay another $10,000 for your own room? I guess not.
Fine. With whom again?
Bob.
Bob who?
Just Bob.
Oh, Bob.
No, just Bob.
Yes, that's what I said.
Also, no screaming, no littering everywhere, and no screaming of excitement.
What?
Off you go.
Ooh. So, what is this Galactic Cruise I saw on the advert?
Nope, we're full now.
What? But this is on my bucket list, and I've sold my house to be here.
Well, too bad, so sad. No more room. Out.
Can I have my money back? That doesn't seem legal.